What is going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Misplay Mafia podcast. I'm Matthew Jambois, captain of the Misplay Mafia and a Pokemon professor, joined here today with my co-host Juwan Joseph. Juwan, how's it going, buddy?
Honestly, it's been pretty good. It's been fun messing around a new format. Also had a good time at your first challenge that you was able to run this weekend.
Yes. So that was a lot of fun. Got to run my first challenge at my new store. Well, it's not my store, I guess, but the store that's letting me host a league, which would be my very own league. Usually, I've been a league assistant for a while, but now I actually have my own. Got qualified for challenges. Ran my first one, and I'm gonna pat myself on the back here.
Like, them suckers went quick. Like I was in on like a time frame to get out because I had a prior engagement to go to, but that sucker went by quick.
Yeah, we started at 2:00. Actually, we started after 2:00. Had 4 rounds,
Right.
played best of one, and I got us out of there before 4:00. So I would like to pat myself on back for hosting a really quick, short, sweet tournament. But it was a lot of fun. Thank you to everyone who came out. I do appreciate the support. And everything over there. I know the play area is not the best right now, but hey, we're working on it. We're growing.
It's growing,
And
it was enough for the people we had that came that weekend too.
Yeah, if we get much more, we're gonna be in trouble. I'm a little nervous about Chaos Rising pre-releases, but we'll figure that one out.
Yeah. It's just, what a few weeks from now.
Yeah, it'll be figured out. But sorry that there was no podcast episode last week. We were sitting down looking at everything and found that there was a whole lot of nothing to talk about last week, and rather than just listen to us ramble, we decided to save your eardrums a week from our voices and just give you a bye week.
Even though I know y'all really wanted us to talk for that week.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people were asking where the Mafia podcasts, and I was one of the people that said, I don't know.
But we are back and better than ever this week, and we have quite a bit to talk about, actually. So we're going to start off this episode talking about a statement that actually came out today regarding the Orlando Regional Championship and some of the chaos that went on there. And then we'll move on to talking about some new cards that have been revealed from our Pitch Black set, or Abysmal Eye in Japan. So kind of a shorter, sweet episode, but definitely a lot of good material in this episode to talk about. And then we're going to wrap up this week's episode by making predictions for Prague, which is going to be the first tournament in the TPCI circuit in the post-rotation world. So super excited to get some major results from Prague. But getting into it now, we're just going to jump right in with this Orlando statement. So if you remember back from our last episode, we talked about all the controversy that was taking place in Orlando. You had Makani Tran in the TCG in round 13 of Swiss. He hit the cards he needed to off of a Lily to win, took off the headset, threw it down, received a game loss on a game 3, which then swung the circuit over to his opponent. In order to move into top 8, Makani had to play ASIM. So they released a statement talking about Makani's penalty, and then they also released a statement on the bigger penalty of the Pokemon Go champion, or I guess I should say the People's Champion, because he won the event. Yes, good old Firestar won the event, and after the event, they celebrated and everything, and then we got told that he had received a game loss during game 5, and that meant that the series got flipped over to his opponent, and his opponent was actually the regional champion. And up until now, it's been 2 weeks of frustration from the community. Pokemon has not released a statement, Everybody's been just kind of taking it as what's going on. Like there was a lot of frustration. Hashtag Justice for Firestar was going around on Twitter.
I'll tell you what though, the memes were phenomenal.
Yeah, some of them were good, and then some of them
we had good memes for these 2 weeks.
Some of them were good, but then some of them were, just bashing the judges, and that's not cool. Don't do that, people. But I mean, like this whole controversy blew up to the point where people who don't even know about Pokemon or Pokemon Go were making videos about it, news articles about it. Moist Critical even did a video about it. So a lot of attention has been brought to this thing, and it was about time Pokemon released a statement. So we're just going to jump into this statement. I'm going to go ahead and read it. The first, we see in the first paragraph here, they're going to talk about Makani and his thing. It says, in the first instance, during the Pokemon TCG Swiss Round 13, the tournament headphones were removed and were thrown onto the table on top of cards and damage counters, putting the TCG game state in disarray before additional game actions could be taken to complete the game. A match loss was issued for the disruption to the game state and not playing out the final sequence to finish the game. Now, me as a judge and me as a player, I agree with the match loss or the game loss on Makani's side of things, because he had to finish playing out cards in order to like actually prove and show that he had won. Like, yes, we knew what he needed, but even though we knew what he needed, there are still missteps that could happen. And so the fact that if he just threw it down, celebrated, I agree that it probably should have been a game loss, a match loss. We did see dice and cards moving. Would have taken a little bit of time to fix it. Could have been played out and repaired, sure. But that's my take. Juwan, what you think about Makani's stuff?
I think that's also like a fair penalty to him, because, like I said, we knew that he had the cards, but the opponent didn't. The judge didn't. So what if he didn't have the winning hand? He just threw it down and just put the whole game in disarray for no reason.
Yeah, definitely had to prove it out. And Makani actually, after reading this part just about him, jumped to Twitter and
I didn't see this one.
Has said that this community statement is not accurate. 2 separate head judges told me that I was given a match loss for throwing my headset down and being dangerous. Not a single judge told me I was given a game loss for disrupting the board. I didn't even get a chance to appeal the ruling because your judges didn't even tell me what the ruling was. How is that okay? And I can see some overlap here of maybe, could dangerous and disarray. I'm not saying they're the exact same words like at all, but he definitely threw it down kind of in an aggressive way. Cards did go flying.
Cards did go flying from it.
So and damage counters did go flying too. Like it could, I think dangerous was the wrong word used by the judges maybe in that time frame. Disarray, I feel like, is definitely more appropriate. But my biggest thing was he was talking about I didn't even get a chance to appeal the ruling because your judges didn't even tell me what the ruling was. I believe too that this ruling came from a head judge, and any ruling coming from a head judge is final. There is no appealing. We do see the 2 stream judges right there on the stage with the players watching the gameplay, checking everything out. But then behind the scenes, what we don't see is that there are a slew of other judges and head judges watching the gameplay as well, and making sure that everything's going on properly that needs to be happening. So I could see that the ruling was from a head judge, and once the ruling comes from a head judge, there is no appealing. What the head judge says goes. And so I do believe that that's probably why. It kind of sucks that he wasn't maybe that wasn't communicated in the moment to him, but that's the only way that I could see why he wasn't offered the appeal. Anytime a judge makes a
sense.
anytime a judge
That's
makes a
problem.
ruling on the floor, they gotta offer the appeal. So, but don't know. That's just my take. But then moving on to the bigger instance of this is talking about the Pokemon Go's grand final. It says, in the second instance during the Pokemon Go grand finals, we would like to share some information which may not have been known to the broader community. And I just want to stop there. This is the number one thing as a judge that is the most important when it comes to rulings. We do not know other, we as community members do not know other penalties that have been issued to players. All right. That's not public knowledge. The judges keep that to themselves. They have a whole Discord thing where they keep it during the tournaments. And so they're definitely, and that was kind of one of the things I was wondering about with this whole Firestar was there more? And it turns out there might have been. So what that more is, it says prior to the final game incident, during the game 1 of the bracket reset series, a player was issued a warning for the action of hitting and shaking the table during gameplay. Actions such as these can have negative impact on the experience of participants and disturb the match in progress. Then, during Game 5, so this would be the last game of the series, the same player's behavior continued to be disruptive, including shaking the table to a point that there was a disruption to the broadcast experience. These repeated infractions resulted in a penalty that was escalated to a game loss. And I'm just going to go ahead and finish this part right here. It says, we will uphold these decisions made by the judges at this event. Judges are committed to bringing the best possible experience to our players by preserving the competitive integrity of our events. Without them and their commitment to play Pokemon, we would not be able to hold events. And it is our expectation that they are treated with the same respect as all people in the community. In the moment of a win, emotions are high, and we recognize that these emotions can lead to energetic reactions celebrating a win. We want to support this authentic, positive reaction and not discourage this excitement. Celebrations are not an issue, but actions that disrupt or can negatively impact competitive integrity can be. It says, we will continue to listen to the communities of players and our judges on how to best evolve our tournament system rules and how penalties are enforced. So, Juwan, let me get your player's perspective on this.
Why was this additional information not disclosed beforehand?
So,
why wait till now to say that he had multiple warnings before enacting the final one? Because I feel like that would have been critical information to put out there before it just blew out of hand.
Well, I would have to imagine that there's some discussion and investigation that happens between the judges and TPCI before they release this statement. And, this statement also has to go through several different PR peoples to read it, make sure everything sounds good. That's probably why it did take a little bit to get this statement. It was probably a week for the investigation, and then probably another couple of days before they actually typed this up and got it approved.
I mean, they didn't. I don't say they needed a full statement, but at least just add the other little tidbit of their past warnings. Even just that little bit could just been communicated with after they have gone through with the full, I guess, removal of his win.
Right. But I think that too comes from, I think, the player side of things of maybe Firestar just left that out on his, didn't think that would add up to like a game loss, like, because things get escalated as repeated offenses get escalated. That's in the rule books. We've seen it happen. If you do the same
Y'all
as
didn't know it does escalate. Every little warning you get throughout the regional,
yes, and
it
it
does
is
stack
kept
up.
track.
If you
Absolutely.
didn't know.
And so I guess part of it too of why we didn't know that there was warnings is because, like, why would we need to know every single warning that's giving it a regional? Like, that would be way too much. Like, that's
Well, you don't need every little warning, but I feel like the background information would help if it's suddenly the major penalty of a game loss.
I mean, yes, but the judges had the knowledge of the warning. It wasn't like they immediately just jumped to the game loss. Like, if it would have been his first offense, it probably would have been like a warning, and then, hey, don't do this at another major, because if we see you do it at another major, it's gonna be a whole nother situation.
Wait, so what's this? Was this like offenses between majors, or was it within the same region?
It was within the same, and really and truly, for the most part, penalties don't carry over tournament to tournament. And what I mean by that is, like,
it's like, what are the few exceptions?
Like, so a DPL, like, let's say I'm playing TCG and I get a double prize penalty. Well, in Houston, let's say I would have gotten a double prize penalty in Houston. Well, whenever I traveled to Orlando, if I would have gotten a double prize, if I would have done something that warranted a double prize penalty there, I would still get a double prize penalty. It wouldn't be escalated to a game loss. And I could have done the exact same thing. It could have been where I did an illegal deck search under item lock or something like that. Like, that type stuff doesn't get escalated. But unsportsmanlike conduct, I feel like, kind of sticks with you. Disruptive behavior is kind of what they kind of put that under. Talking about the player.
If you're like fucking banging on the table, it's like a freaking caveman.
Yeah, like that I would feel like would follow you. Because it's even like with cups and challenges, like even down to the local level, if you experience a player that is constantly toxic, whether it be like bad sportsmanship or slow
good memories.
Yeah, slow playing, doing things that they know are deliberately against the rules, you can have that person banned for repeated offenses. Like, that can happen, but again, like, a double prize penalty is not going to follow you up to a game loss, to then a match loss, to then a disqualification. Like, that doesn't just happen. Like, that kind of stops. But I feel like it's more of like the behaviors, especially against what's called like the spirit of the game, and just the environment is how those type of penalties carry over with you.
Which does make sense, because like everyone does say that Pokemon surprisingly has like the best / friendliest competitive environment.
Right. And so if you go against that environment, like, you get a warning the first time, probably get pulled aside by the TO or whatever. But then if you just keep going it, like, yeah, that's going to warrant more. Especially, it doesn't matter how many times you show up, But Firestar did have a comment to say on this as well.
Him too.
So he goes onto Twitter, retweeting the statement, and says, "The incident you are now, for the first time, claiming was the basis of the decision did not affect gameplay at all, yet decided the whole tournament. Section 2.1 requires a clear explanation of any infraction and its penalty. I was never given this as the basis at all." So he's saying that the incident did not affect the gameplay at all. You're talking about the line here that talks about the disruption to the broadcast experience was given. Saying it didn't affect the gameplay, didn't affect the broadcast. There There was no basis for what you're saying happened. And I don't know. Some people say that there was like a split second issue. Some people are saying no. I've seen the clip myself. I couldn't come heads or tails of it. But take that for what you will, I guess. That's about as much as I'm going to speak on it.
He said it was for nothing disrupting the game experience, right?
Yeah, disrupting. They said that one point when he was like shaking the table, because you can see him kind of like there was one point I know whenever I watched the clip, one of his Pokemon got knocked out and he kind of like hit the table, like just kind of like punched it, and they're saying that like, oh, that caused a disruption with the wire, or like knocked a wire loose or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because they could just be talking about like just like stream experience for everyone else watching, and not the gameplay experience that he's trying to hone down on.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's justified because he was given the warning. Like we see here, the warning was issued. And in Pokemon Go, there's not a double prize penalty. There's not a 2 Pokemon knockout penalty or a Pokemon knockout penalty. It literally goes from a warning to a game loss to a match loss to a disqualification. You didn't listen to the warning. You were given a game loss. That seems fair to me.
Yeah, brother, it's not that hard to not slam on a freaking table.
Yeah, especially like I get he's in the finals, like, you know, and he's frustrated. He literally had to fight his way up from the losers bracket and then reset the bracket and then took it all the way to a game 5 again, to where he, you know, like was stressed and won. And, you know, like the stakes are high for sure. But I don't know. You just gotta contain your emotions in the moment. I mean, it doesn't sound like Pokemon doesn't want you to not be excited. I mean, they even say like in the moment of a win, emotions are high, and they lead that they could lead to energetic celebrations, and they want to support the authentic positive reactions. And it even says celebrations are not the issue. It was not him, you know, fist bump in the air or overly celebrating like we thought it was. Because at the first, that's what it sounded like. But it was just that it disrupted or negatively impacted the competitive integrity, meaning it disrupted the streaming side of things, if that's what Pokemon saw happen. Or, you know, it messed with the equipment or stuff. If that's the case, then that's the case. Like, you can't do that. They've, you know. So I think it's fully justified. The Pokemon community is very torn on Twitter. Some are saying no, not justified. Some are saying, okay, like kind of like me. Okay, he was given a warning. Now he's justified, you know.
Is it really that 50-50?
It's pretty bad, even to the point where it's kind of funny. Readers have added context and a community note to it. To the little Play Pokemon article, it says the Go player Firestar 73 was not warned for shaking or hitting the table, nor is there any footage of the broadcast experience being disrupted. The TCG player Makani Tran also said he received a game loss for dangerous headset throw and was not able to appeal. So even the community is like readers noting the document. You know, people are calling for lawyers at this point, but then there's some people saying, you know,
Home your box saying talk your shit.
Yeah, like there's just wild stuff going on, and you'll see several retweets of people supporting it. Some people saying, you know, they're against it. I would like to know your comments down, or your thoughts, your perspectives on it down in the comments below. Please leave a comment. Help kind of clear up. Maybe there's something we missed in this argument, or this statement between either player situations. But I'm definitely curious to know more people's opinions on this.
Yeah,
It's,
I really want to know what other people's takes on this is.
yeah, just
Yeah,
be,
I've not really been keeping up with this
yeah,
as
it's
much as I should.
yeah, been a very interesting day to say the least for us. And on the Twitterverse for the Pokemon community.
And I remember already told this before. How often do Pokemon put out statements like this?
So
You said not very often, right?
it is very rare that we get a statement like this. Really, it comes after something massive has happened. Really, the last massive thing that has happened that I can think of would be the Ian Robb situation at Worlds. Back in Hawaii, I believe it was. Was it Hawaii there?
Yeah.
Yes, the Hawaii. And we all kind of, with the second we saw it happen, we all knew what the disqualification was for. Whenever he got disqualified going into top 4, we all knew why. With the celebration he did, and so Pokemon didn't release a statement then, but there have been times in the past, and thinking about it, I could not think about it all day, the situation. But Pokemon has released statements in the past that says, hey, this is why we ruled this way, or this is why XYZ happened, blah blah blah. And what's even funny is in the last one that they posted, there was a line in there that says, we plan to be more transparent about rulings and situations like this. And I'm gonna be honest,
Yet here we are.
they've kind of failed. But maybe this is the start of them going back on that and like really growing from that statement. Because it's been a couple years now since we've gotten a statement about any type of game state situations.
Three times the charm.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, definitely interesting. And I love how they never name a player, but we all know what the situations are talking about. Pokemon will never name a player outright. They will just say the player. Which some of that is too, I've seen some reasons why that, like protecting their identity. Like if there was ever like a Google search, you wouldn't want, oh, blah blah blah, disqualified for cheating. Especially if like for like a
Pokemon statement.
Yeah, especially like from a job interview perspective, like you wouldn't want that. So yeah, definitely mad respect for Pokemon for going that angle with it. But anyways, moving on here, unless Juwan, you got anything else?
No, just that I hope they're more transparent about these rulings in the future.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They need to be. All right, so moving on, we're going to take a look here at some of the new cards that have been revealed. So these are the gym promos that have been revealed for May. And we have 5 of these cards out of the 7, but there's 2 new ones. One is a Mega Delphox EX that has 350 HP for a fire energy. It has Trick Portal. Look at the top 9 cards of your deck and put as many Pokemon as you find there as you like onto your bench, and then shuffle other cards into your deck. And then for fire and 2 colorless energies, it has Eerie Glow for 200 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned and confused. And then right after that, we have just a Grisham. It's a supporter card that says heal 50 damage from all Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's. So my take on this is Mega Delphox is a worse Tatsugiri EX.
Are you gonna have one more prize?
One more prize. You're a stage 2, and sure, I get to look at the top 9 and put any Pokemon, but what else is that gonna do me?
I mean, I'm always a fan of Pokemon that can, not even Pokemon, just cards that can cheat out Pokemon. That's always like a fun little mechanic.
It's a fun mechanic, but I don't think this.
But I think that's where it like begins and ends.
Unless we get some type of or fire evolution acceleration, kind of like how like grass has it with the forest. This card will never see the light of day, and as far as the competitive like page goes.
Now, someone giving that card a limitless page though, that would be sick.
If somebody gives this card a limitless page, I will eat this card. Hey,
mark this video down, folks.
I'm about to say you could quote me on that.
Mark this video down.
Good luck, I guess. You have a wasted deck space.
It's definitely gonna take some work.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. But then also too, we don't know when these cards are coming out. We assume they're coming out with maybe our pitch black set, or
honestly, I think it'll probably be like the set after pitch black.
It might.
It take a while for these gym promos to come to us.
Yeah, or it might
be like a sticker collection or something like that.
Could be a box set or something. But yeah, we don't know when we're gonna get these cards, but they do exist. They're coming out in Japan in May. So congratulations, Japan. You get more cards to play with. But then too, they did announce their the new Darkrai set, which is called Abyss Eye in Japan, or it'll be our Pitch Black set, which is set to come out in July. Sorry, Abyss Eye is coming out in May. Pitch Black is coming out in July. They revealed just a couple new cards. We're gonna talk about just a few of them because some of them are just really bad. But we'll talk about the big highlighted card here, which is Mega Darkrai EX. It's a dark basic with 280 HP. For 2 dark energies, it has Night Raid, does 110 plus damage. If any of your bench Pokemon have any damage counters on them, it does 110 more, so a max of 220 damage. And then for 3 dark energies, it has the move Abyss Eye. If your opponent's active Pokemon is affected by any special condition, it is now knocked out. Now, you're thinking to yourself, how can I give this thing a special condition to automatically knock out my opponent's Pokemon?
Dangerous Laser.
No, even better. They gave us a new item called Dark Bell. Dark Bell is an item card, so that means it's just a regular item card, so we can run 4 of them, unlike Dangerous Laser, we can only run 1. It says both active Pokemon except any dark Pokemon are now confused.
Okay, so no laser.
No laser. Okay. There's no need to play the laser. So definitely see the synergy there. You make your opponent's active Pokemon confused, your Darkrai's not confused, and then we swing and take knockouts automatically. And 3 prize format doesn't seem horrible, but I'm still just confused as to how we're getting 3 dark energies on this thing super fast.
Bro, that's easy. We got Toxtricity, Janine's. You also got the attach for turn. You also got E-Switch if you whiff one of those. Like, I feel like there's plenty of ways for Dark to get energies in this format.
Maybe so. Maybe I'm not as creative as you are with it. And maybe I think this is just a good addition to Dark Box.
It's a great addition to Dark Box.
Going in. And then even talking about going into Dark Box, there is a new Inkay and Malamar being printed. The Inkay has 60 HP, so Dragapult will farm you. But for 1 dark energy, it has procurement. Search your deck for an item card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So maybe some type of control-y deck would like this card. And then the Malamar has 120 HP. For 1 dark energy, it confuses your opponent's active Pokemon. And then for another dark energy, or for 1 dark energy, it has Brain Crush, and it does 130 damage. only if your opponent's Activemon is confused. So could be a good single prize attacker. 130 is not horrible. It's not the best, but maybe if you
You
just
definitely got better options out there
you do,
for
but
dark attackers.
maybe you know a lot of
Like
dark's
Sniper, I
weak.
think.
A lot of dark is weak to grass right now. Maybe this is your crustal counter. You know, it's weak to grass itself, but if we're making crustal confused, it's fine. They don't. They'll whiff the mist energy.
Yeah, they won't get missed.
No, they'll just whiff that.
They won't cold risk for mist.
No, absolutely not. It's horrible. Why would they ever do that? There is a new Dark Zarude coming out and a Dark Chi-Yu, but we can skip those. They don't do anything important. And then the last card to talk about is the special Dark Energy that's coming out. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides 1 Dark Energy. Prevent all damage done by your opponent's attacks to the bench Dark Pokemon this card is attached to.
I feel like they could have done a better effect with that card. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but you know what I hear about like the Shadow Energy and even the Dark Bell?
What?
Zoroark doesn't care about Wellspring Mask anymore. And your Zekrom 250 move also became like a monkey. Like it's like Mind Bend for 250 if you play the bell. That's pretty crazy.
You know, that could be some interesting tech.
So this might be some stuff that Zoroark might even like.
But I also hate that the Shadow Energy, the only thing as of right now it protects them is just Wellspring. Like compared to like the effects that the other like elemental decks got for their effects. As of right now, I think Dark's probably the weakest, in my opinion.
Not even the grass one.
I'll be honest, I would take the grass one over this.
That's wild.
I mean, so for real.
But dude, this even helps in like your mirror matchup with like Darmanitans and stuff.
Alright, so I'm protected against Wellspring and Darmanitan.
There'll be more. There is more. I just can't think of more right now.
They'll have to put more to make this card, more useful.
Bro, attach it to your Fez. Your Fez can't get sniped by nothing. The Zeraora V, or not the V, but not the V, but the Zeraora can't be sniped by.
Oh yeah, no Thunder Raid.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
all the Thunder decks out there.
Yeah.
Have you seen?
Hey, I'm trying to build a Manectric deck. It's not working, but I'm trying.
Oh,
we'll see. We'll see.
Hold on, where was I for this conversation? I'm a Manectric fan.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I got some ideas.
Oh,
Canary's kind of busted. Like
no, Canary is busted.
Canary's too busted not to play, so I'm just trying to find some way to play it.
I'm telling you, Manectric, you got your 330, you got your free retreats.
Yep.
Your Dynamotors.
But yep. So this is not much of anything from the new cards have been revealed to yet. There's definitely some deck ideas with this Darkrai, I guess, and maybe some Zoroark stuff that you could take in with the Dark Bell and the Shadow. But it'd be interesting to see what else comes out. We don't know exactly how. Oh, we do know exactly how big this set. This set will be 81 cards.
So another small set.
Another small set, which means Pitch Black will be another small set, kind of like Perfect Order. Part of me is like hoping they're trying to like slowly get us on the same page as Japan by shrinking our sets, but
I feel like we just keep getting further and further away.
Yeah, because they'll get this set and it'll be legal for play before we even get Chaos Rising.
Yeah, they'll be officially like 2 sets ahead of us.
Yeah, so that does feel pretty bad. But maybe we'll get it fixed. I know we do know that we're getting the same same set date as for the 30th anniversary. Like everybody's getting that set on the same day, all across the world.
Which that's also another thing. It's like the first time in a while where they broke the tradition of 2 main sets and 1 special set. Because this will be our 3rd main set.
Yeah, well, we got Ascended in January, and then we got Chaos, and then we'll get then we had Perfect Order, then we had Chaos, and now we're getting Pitch Black. Yeah, so instead of getting a special set in the summer, we're now getting another main set. But I think that's because in September we're getting a special set. Because that's whenever
like the huge Hoenn set.
No, it's gonna be the 30th.
Oh.
That's already slated for the September block.
Oh, just give me another Blaziken.
I think that's not coming out until next summer or next. I feel like it's like next year.
So I can't even. They gotta at least do it before rotation, so I can do like full on Blaziken box. Could they get that man a freaking H block?
Maybe it'll be our November set. Maybe Storm Emerald will be our November set.
Like they killing me over here.
Yeah, it's a bad day to be a Blaziken lover.
No, it's a bad day to be a Hoenn lover.
You're getting your Black Bolt and White Flare set soon.
Yeah, I'm calling in a lot of favors stacked up for him.
Yeah. I'm just really surprised that they did Black Bolt, White Flare, where every Pokemon got an illustration and not 151.
That's probably because they learned from 151.
Maybe so.
Which ended up making Black Bolt and White Flare just even more better.
Yeah.
Which if they do the same thing for Hoenn, I'm gonna have to follow suit with you on that master binder.
Dude. Hopefully you don't get the monochromes. That's the killer for doing a master set of Black Bolt White Flare.
You already know I'm gonna get some. There's gonna be like a ruby monochrome, a sapphire monochrome, emerald monochrome.
Oh, that'd be wild.
Don't even get me started on like some weird alien color of Deoxys.
And it's different forms. Every form has
and there's many different forms. What else am I missing? The Latios and Latios. I guess we already got the Mega Latios.
Yeah, I don't think we care about that.
But would they reprint it for like a... No, because you already got an illustration. They'll probably give it a second one.
Or maybe that's where we get Mega Latios instead. Even though the exact same Mega.
He'll be more playable than his sister.
Is it his sister or his lover?
I think they're... I remember them being siblings.
But then, like, if they're siblings, that makes the Lovebird card really bad. And I don't know if this is Pokemon lore that we need to get into.
I'm searching Latios and Latios, siblings or dating.
There's no way that please don't let them be siblings.
Wait,
because think about like all the people that are.
Oh yeah, siblings.
Oh my gosh.
They're siblings.
Think about all the people that have proposed with like the Lovebirds card or something, like all the Poke couples being like, this is us. And just to find out they're siblings.
And plus you got remember in the Pokemon movie when Latios turned into a human and she fell in love with Ash or something?
What?
You didn't know about that?
I missed that one, Chief.
Yeah, that was totally a thing that happened.
Oh my gosh. That is
that's what I was like. They're for sure siblings, right? Because you wouldn't be going cheating on Latios just for some random boy, right?
That's absolutely wild.
Nah, I never even knew people considered them to be like a couple's thing. So I always thought they were the siblings.
No, bro. Like the trends I've seen of people proposing with the Lovebirds card, it's kind of cringe. In my opinion, or like they'll like make the lovebirds card like a centerpiece of like their wedding photos or whatever, something like that. Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe at Alabama wedding. I mean, it'd be appropriate for that one.
Oh gosh. All right, we've gotten so far off track now. All right. But I think hopefully I hate to end it on Alabama wedding of Latios and Latius, but I don't think there's anything else for us to cover. Juwan, you got anything else that you want to talk about real fast?
Actually, I kind of do. How's been your time in the post rotation world? We've been 2 weeks in already.
Oh, we did forget about that. Whoopsie.
Yeah, because this is officially like the first episode in the new world.
It is.
How's been your I guess the index you're trying to gravitate towards? How's your journey been?
Well, I went to a challenge. I played Haunch, and I should have been 3-1, but I went 2-1-1 because I hit a slot box player playing In's plan, and that was absolutely wild to me. I was like, "There's no way," because I had the board state where he had to take 2 prizes to win. I had to take 2 prizes to win. And I just Giovanni KO'd his Wellspring Mask, so I'm feeling pretty confident that I've got game because I had everything for the next turn for the final knockout. And he had Night Stretcher, Water Energy, and In's plan to move 2 Grass Energies from his Teal Mask to it to take the last 2 knockouts. I was like, oh, that is how you win.
That's just like Brennan getting poppied in San Antonio.
No, that's the Ace Roll's mischief, brother.
Ace Roll's mischief?
From Orlando. The Charizard.
I'm talking about the poppy from San Antonio.
Oh yeah.
Back when he did the mirror match in Regidrago V.
Oh yeah, dude just randomly hit the poppy to take the last knockout. Wild stuff. But yeah, so because I had won game 1 and then that was game 2 and I was in a winning position. He just happened to have the nuts and it just happened that way. And then so that was fine. And then running my first tournament with it within the post rotation world. There's nowhere near as many judge calls from Ionos. Like usually, there was a lot like whenever I would judge a tournament, there'd be a lot of Iono fixing. And there was no.
I don't know that often.
People just forget. Like, or people would like, there would be somebody that would play a judge instead of Iono, and then people done messed up. And so, anyways, it was fine. Really not a lot of judge calls, so I have nothing to say bad about the format right now. Raging Bolt seems really good in best of 1 formats, like really, really good. So I love that. But
got my ass handed to 1 this weekend on the finals.
Yeah. That's okay. I got my ass handed to me from a Mega Lucario deck, so I guess that's fair. But
yeah, I mean that's the exact equivalent.
Yeah. But so post rotation looks fine. I played against a weird it was the Bronzong control deck.
Oh yeah, there was 2 of those playing.
Yeah, and weekend. I hit both of them back to back, and that was not fun per se because the only way Honchkrow wins that one is if either they whiff or if I hit Rocket's energy before they can stall out too many turns with the not evolving situation. So it was fine though. It's I think it's favored for Haunch if you hit what you need.
I think you go as long as you just evolve first.
Yeah, until they Salvatore you. Where they can evolve.
You only need one Honchkrow up.
Do you know what Salvatore does?
Oh yeah, it's like immediate evolution.
Yeah, they go second. And before I like, because I always want to go first, they go second. They just say, "Huh, Salvatore energy, you can't evolve." Now I'm left with nothing but Murkrows.
You know, I've been thinking about using the Salvatore Tech in Lucario.
For what Aura Jab to just accelerate?
Yeah, just get the early Aura Jab acceleration. That way, it doesn't matter if they go first or second.
I guess you could, but like, you're not going to be getting the Aura Jab that often to the point where it matters, right?
No. But like part of like the at least in my opinion, part of like the gameplay of Lucario is the simple board control with the amount of gust you play in that deck.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe
So
so.
just keep applying the pressure.
Yeah, could be. Could be. I don't. Yeah, I mean, brother, that's gonna be one of those things that you're just gonna have to build it and let me see it. I disagree with it, but
Oh no, I don't think it's good. I think it's a fun tag.
yeah,
Now what I do think is good is Cypher Maniac. That girl goes crazy in Lucario, let me tell you.
brother, that's a boy.
That's a boy.
Are you're talking
For
about
real?
you're talking about Cypher Maniac's code breaking, right?
That's a dude.
Isn't it Clement from the anime?
Huh? No. That's not Clement.
Okay, but like is okay or like a version of. Oh my gosh, this is really where we're going. Is that not a dude?
She was like the Scarlet and Violet era.
Is that not a dude?
Is it? Is it?
Oh my gosh, now I can't tell.
Wait. That's like it looks like a girl from that card.
I really thought it was a dude. Wait,
Is it a dude?
I can't tell. Help. Help. I really
Because like it's not a character in the anime. It's not a character in the game. It's like I legitimately don't know if it's a dude or not. I just assumed it was a girl because she looked like one.
But like I could also see it being a dude. I always thought it was a dude. Is it not?
Hold on, I'm doing another one of my Google searches.
Oh my god. Well, I'm doing a Google search right now too. Like this is
Maniac.
to me this is 100% a dude. But I don't know. Now I'm questioning it.
Boy or girl?
Did I just misgender a card? Oh gosh, I'm gonna get canceled for this. Cause like you got I mean, I guess they're wearing like leggings, but they're also got shorts on, so
Oh, they're saying female.
what?
The searches are saying female.
Okay. I mean, I could be wrong. I definitely thought it was a dude. My bad. I'll admit one.
Be second guessing myself.
I'll apologize to Cypher Maniac next time I see it.
Let's say you'll probably see it this weekend.
Probably. But anyways, yeah, Juwan, what are your thoughts on post rotation?
Honestly, I've been having a great time post rotation. Like every challenge so far, I've just been bringing something new. Like on the Pokemon Day one, I brought Steamus Metagross. It's better than before.
Yeah,
but still not quite there. But it's definitely a whole lot more. It's definitely a whole lot more fun with the Skarmory package.
no, I can imagine the X boot on the Skarmory is kind of wild.
Like the amount of games that I won just from Sonic ripping their backboard and just preventing setup, it felt good. Especially one turn where you start Skarmory, popping for the Beldums, and then you have like what Ultra Ball and Rare Candy in your hand for next turn, so you can Genesect rare candy into Metagross and starting the early pressure. Like getting games like that is so good.
I had to stop
But
myself. I had to stop myself from saying why Ultra Ball and not Nest Ball.
I know it's so hard, man.
Yeah, yeah. R.I.P.
Ultra Ball, Nest Ball will be missed
Absolutely.
until it comes back. Like hopefully less than a year from now.
Yeah.
But I played that on that on a challenge that we were talking about where you were on Haunch. I was on that guard chomp, and for if I'm playing against a deck that's not grass, it's great. But the first two decks that I hit was freaking grass.
Brother
Like,
doesn't know how to meta call.
hey, it's not about meta call. It's about feeling out the room.
That's called meta calling.
Nah, we just filling out the room.
Okay.
And so far, you know, I hate that girl Verizian, but
Yeah.
it's all right.
That one I will give you. That one is a girl.
Well, actually, she's a robot.
Isn't her gender always female? Don't tell me there's male version or iron or.
I mean, that's the Iron Valiant.
Oh gosh, hold on.
But
Going down another rabbit hole.
I'm pretty sure Iron Valiant is not a man.
I gotta figure this out.
He don't trust himself no more.
It's not Iron Valiant, is it? It's Iron Leaves.
Oh no, Iron Leaves. Yeah.
Gosh, you got me saying.
Oh yeah, Iron Valiant did rotate as well. Rest in peace, that girl.
Oh, Iron Leaves actually has no gender. So.
Cause she's a robot.
Yeah, because
it's a robot.
It's a robot, I guess. We both misgendered it. But we do have the first major in the TPCI circuit, which is different from Japan circuit. So it's just the perfect order rotation now, being this weekend, with the first major being down in Prague. Juwan, what do you think is going to take it all this weekend? What post rotation deck are we feeling?
So after my lovely performance Sunday at your challenge, I am kind of pulling in for Stylish just a little bit. I don't think he'll be like high up there, but I think there's enough wackiness in the current meta to where he can still eke out the same numbers as he once did. Now for like any decks that will be up there in like top 4, I think there's no way we don't see Dragapult, specifically Dragapult Blaziken.
Fair.
I don't think Dragapult Dusknoir is the right way anymore.
Very true. Very true.
I 100% think we're going to see a Mega Lucario up there. Because that dude is just way too powerful, way too fun, way too good. And he's my main deck now.
Yeah.
Now the other two, do you know if Absolbox lost much besides
Well,
Nestball?
you got to remember, Absolbox technically won the first tournament of post rotation in the world, like the first major back in Japan, and it was the grass Absolbox that we saw.
Oh yeah, using the Ogerpon engine and just a bunch of E switches.
Correct.
Okay, then put him up there in top 4 as well.
Okay.
Because I do genuinely think he's up there. And the fort, ooh. Honestly, I could definitely see it being up there. Slotbox.
Slotbox is pretty solid.
Or Bolt.
I wouldn't complain.
I could definitely see New Age Bolt.
Yeah,
being powerhouse up there.
I could see it. I think for me, what I see like taking it all, probably I had a pick, but the more I think about it, I just don't think it's right per se.
No,
I
and I'm thinking about Zoroark too.
Nah, Zoroark's dead. There's too much grass. I think
Yeah.
I could see Lucario actually taking it. Whenever I played against it this weekend, I saw so many lines that I did not know existed in that deck. Even though yes, it's straightforward and yes, it's a 3 prize deck.
There's so many lines.
There's some shenanigans that can happen that could like really, fix some stuff. So I would not be surprised if this was like Lucario's tournament for the taking, making its first like big name. But I do also see a lot of Polt up in top cut. I do see a couple Absol boxes and probably some Team Rocket's Mewtwo.
You think Mewtwo's gonna be up there?
I think the Mewtwo player that gets up there hit the matchup roulette of its life. Because that's how I feel about Mewtwo. Mewtwo is very matchup roulette reliant. It's really good into the matchups that it's really good into, but it's really bad into just about everything else. And so I feel like there is going to be some Mewtwo. There'll probably be at least 1 or 2 Mewtwo in top cut.
Oh, now one's saying a lot though. Not 2.
It could happen.
Yeah, because this is a very weird meta we're in right now.
Yeah.
Like quietly, everyone's able to just counter each other.
Exactly. And I don't know what they're playing over in the Czech Republic, but it could definitely be an interesting meta.
But I'm still standing for Lucario to win it all.
Go for it.
Because it's so consistent.
I think
It's so consistent.
I think consistency is key right now. Like if you can be consistent and do what you want to do without really worrying about the one unfair stamp and maybe the one judge, then you're going to be successful. And I feel like Lucario can do that.
Oh, quite easily too.
Yeah. But is there anything else I missed? Any other questions?
Not that I can think of.
Alrighty. Well, if you did enjoy this week's episode of the pod, please make sure to leave a like or a comment down below. Really helps us out here. And make sure you're following us over on X or on YouTube at misplay_mafia. You can follow myself over on X at Daunted Break, and you can follow Juwan at MPM Drebin. And we will hopefully be back next week to your regularly scheduled podcast, or we might be shifting days. Who knows? Seems like everything comes out on a Tuesday.
All the juicy stuff seems to happen whenever it's a day behind.
Absolutely. But make sure you're sticking around for whenever we decide to post next week, so you don't miss a moment of the misplays, and we will see y'all later.
Yeah, check back in for our cup results.